Joining us now is one of the leaders of that mission trip. He is Mark Wilf. He is the chair of the Board of Trustees of the Jewish Federation of North America and also the owner and president of the Minnesota Vikings. But it's no time to talk football, Mark. It's great to have you on. Tell us what you saw on the ground there near the border of Ukraine.
Well, Brian, thanks for having us on. As you mentioned, I went with the Jewish Federations of North America, and we're the backbone of the North American Jewish community, representing over 300 communities in the U.S. and Canada. And we raise funds for security and social services and benefiting the Jewish community and vulnerable populations. And we had the privilege to go to the border town of Medyka in Poland. And what I saw and witnessed with leaders from around the country, thousands and thousands of refugees streaming in. We know millions are coming over, and truly a heartbreaking thing to see. Parents, families coming across, literally their only possessions are in one shopping cart. Really a heartbreaking thing, but really what was impressive was the incredible amount of support and humanitarian aid that is beginning to show up there, and volunteers, people that really care, trying to do their best to make a difference in a horrible situation.
Where, Mark, are the people going? I mean, we're talking potentially more than 1 million people coming into Poland. Poland is a fantastic country. I know they've welcomed them with open arms, but you still need to have the resources and the infrastructure. You need the housing, you need the food, you need everything it takes to keep families warm and fed. Where are these people mostly ending up, at least in the short term?
Well, they're ending up in all kinds of situations in terms of housing that's being set up by the different organizations, such as our partners, the Jewish Agency for Israel, the Joint Distribution Committee, and all the different organizations on the ground trying to grab up housing where necessary to set up tents right on the border area. We saw tents with hundreds of children on cots. And again, this is why we have to raise the money and do what we can. Governments, charities, to do what everyone can to do our part in a very difficult situation. So again, this was the first major organized.
And talk to us about it.
Sorry.
No, my fault, Mark. There was a pause there. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Talk to us about the flow of money. Let's say our viewers right now, CNBC, they're watching, they want to help. I assume they can go to the Jewish Federations of North America website, but take us through the money supply chain. They make the donation. Where does that money get allocated? What are the key needs right now? And are, or close to, 100% of the money donated, is that going to those on the ground in need?
Well, it's jewishfederations.org. You can visit the Ukraine donation page, and basically the funds are going for the needs, medical needs, housing, transportation. We saw hundreds of buses lining up to process these people, and again, to find them the food, the medical care that they need just to establish their own situations and get stabilized and begin to think about next steps and where they can reestablish their lives. So this is donations that goes direct to the source, which is all the humanitarian aid on the ground that is needed. And again, the needs are overwhelming. And no matter what happens in the political and military situation, these needs are going to have to be dealt with long after the news and headlines go away. So a lot of people's lives are truly affected.
Yeah, and I don't want to put you on the spot if you had a chance to maybe speak with some of these folks, Mark, or not, but do they know where they're going to go? Are they just kind of waiting it out and thinking, okay, when the war ends, hopefully soon, we'll go back home? What are these people's plans longer term?
Well, some are not clear. There's still a lot of shock and pain there. Some are going to resettle in Poland. Some of them might have relatives or people they know there or in Eastern Europe, but eventually they're going to go to different, hopefully, countries that will be able to open up their borders and say, we will welcome these refugees. I know, for instance, some of the refugees are settling. For instance, we're making do to get them to Israel. And the Jewish community there, we're doing our part, Jewish Federations, to get them there. But the overall situation, they're going to go all over the world. But Eastern Europe will take, obviously, the lion's share of those people.